Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing great. My name is Dheeraj and welcome back to our Python for Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence series. In this video, we are diving into strings to see how to create them, combine them, access characters, slice text, and use built-in string methods that make text manipulation super easy for us. So whether you are handling user input or cleaning real-world datasets, string mastery is actually essential, especially in the world of AI. So if you are ready to unlock the power of strings in Python, drop a comment saying string mode is on. Let's see who is with me. So stick around till the end because strings aren't just about words, they are the foundation for working with real data in the real world. So without wasting much time, let's get started. Welcome to our fourth video in the Python for Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning series. Today we are exploring strings, Python's way of handling text data. So let's understand what is strings. So a string in Python is a sequence of characters, letters, numbers, symbols, or spaces. One important thing to know, strings are immutable. You can't change them directly. Any modification creates a new string. Strings are essential in artificial intelligence and machine learning. You will use them for tasks like text preprocessing, parsing data from files, converting between types, and generating output like labels or report. So the string skills you build today are the foundation for powerful text processing into our machine learning and the artificial intelligence journey. Now, let's go ahead and understand how we can go ahead and define our strings. So you can create your string using single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes. Let's go ahead and see that on our code editor. So if I open this code editor over here, so the variable name I have defined as Alice. So right now I am defining this string in double quotes. So if I run that, you will see that it has saved it as a string. So when I can also define a string in single quotes like this. And I can also define a string that is a multi-line string in triple quotes like this. So this is how you define your strings. So now let's look at how Python handles special characters inside strings. So Python supports escape sequence which starts with the backslash, as you can see over here. So this is a backslash. So this represents characters that are hard to type directly, like /n for new line, /t for tab, and double slash for literal backslash. So sometimes you want Python to ignore escape sequences. For example, when you are writing some file paths or regular expression, in those cases you use a raw string. So what is so raw strings can be used when you have to use this kinds of path. You have to print this kinds of path, because if you are not going to do that, by default it is going to consider this as an escape character. Okay, instead of considering it as a backslash for a path that you are trying to print or that you are trying to define. So these tools helps you control exactly how text appears and behaves, especially when working with file systems or text pre-processing tasks in the AI workflow. Now let's understand the second and the third part with examples. So I will go ahead and minimize this. Let's talk about escape sequences, how escape sequences work. So when you have to insert a new line, so over here what I have done, I have so we are going to print line 1 and line 2, and in between that I have given /n. So what it is going to do is, from the place where I have declared /n, it is going from that place itself, it will move the string to the next line. So if I run that, you will see line 1 and line 2. So if line 2 have started on the next line, as we have used /n, which is a special character. Then for /t, so when you use /t, what happens? So automatically where you define, it will leave a space like a tab space for you. So that's why when I say name : /t Dheeraj, this is the space that it has left as a tab. Now when I use double backslash, it prints a single backslash, so to avoid the escape character. So over here when I say print, so I have used double backslash, but when I go ahead and print it, you will see that it has been converted to single backslash. Now when I use single backslash, what it does is it allows single quote inside a single quoted string. So usually what happens when I'm going to go, suppose if I'm not going to give a single backslash over here, that is the escape character. See, it has already saying that there is some error over here, because what happened, this quote, that is a single quote in the start at the end, we considered that this is the entire string code, but as we have defined over here in its, this single quote is actually informing them that it is starting here and ending here. So to clear this confusion, what you have to do is you have to use escape backslash. So when you use escape backslash, it will consider it as a string inside the string that you have already defined. So that's how it is showing it's a great day. It's a great day. So over here it is considered the single quote as a string inside the string that we have defined. Now you can also use this backslash in double quotes also. So for example, over here again I have to use double quote inside a double quote. So in that case I have again used a backslash. If I remove this backslash, again it will get confused, because if the double quote is starting from here, and if I have mentioned another double quote over here, it will think that the string starts from here and ends over here. That's why, that is how you can use escape character in these cases. Now let's talk about the third one that we just discussed, that is the raw strings. So for raw strings, what we do is, so when you have to define a path like this, what you have to do is you have to mention it R at the start, which says that this is a raw string. So raw string where backslashes are not treated as escape characters. So as we saw that backslash is by default an escape character. So over here, it should not consider it as an escape character because we are defining a path. That's why to avoid that, we are using R over here. So if we remove R, it will again start giving error to us. Now, this kinds of raw string is also very useful when you are defining a regular expression. So over here, if you see, I have defined a regular expression where /d is one of the regular expression special character that we have. So if I don't use R, it is going to consider it as a string, right? So so it is going to consider this as escape character. So to avoid that, we have again used R over here, and this is the output. So it consider it as a string over here. Now let's go back to our slide. So now it's time for understanding how we can access characters in a string. So strings in Python are indexed. So the first character is at position 8. Suppose if we write XYZ, X comes at the position 0, and the next one, that is Y, will come at position 1, and so on. So you use square brackets over here like this to get the first character. So by using this square bracket, you can define the number of index over here based on which it will fetch that specific character for you from the string. Now, when you use a 0, it will start from left to right, that is from the start. But if you want to start from the right to left, then you have to use negative indexing. So suppose if I have used XYZ, okay, A is equal to XYZ. So X is 0, but I need Z. So in that case, if I use -1, it will give me the character from the end. That is the first character from the end. So that is known as negative indexing, that starts from the back. Now let's talk about string length. So when you have to check length of a string, you can use this inbuilt function. What it is going to do is, whatever you have defined as part of a string, it is going to suppose if I say XYZ, so 0, 1, 2. So there are 3 elements. It is going to return the total of those elements of those characters which has been defined in the string. So that is how you use length text. And if you don't have any value inside your string, it is going to give you a length as 0. Now Python has no separate character type. Even one character is still a string. So accessing an invalid index gives an index error. Suppose if I have a string of XYZ and I am trying to fetch the character at the index of 4, which does not exist. If you try to do that, you are going to get an error which says index error. So let's go ahead, jump to our coding console and see it right away. So over here, first I have defined a variable named text in which the value is Python. So now when I say print text 0, it is going to pick the first character from the start, that is P. So that is why it has printed P over here for us. Now when I use -1, so instead of starting it from the left, it will start from the right, and it has printed N for us. Now we saw how we can get the first character, how we can get the last character. Now let's see if we want to get something in middle. So if you want to get something in middle, so if I say print text 2, what it is going to do is it is going to bring 0 1 2. T is at index 2, so it is going to get you the output as T. And at 4, so 0 1 2 3 4, O is at the index of 4, so it is going to give you the index of 4 over here. Now get the number of characters in the string. As I said, when you're going to use length, so if you see the length of this characters as part of this word of Python, it is 6. Let's count it: 1 2 3 4 5 6, and that is what it has returned. Suppose if I define a new variable and I keep the value of that string as empty, so in that case, when I say print length empty, it is going to return 0 to us. Now, so each character that we have used is accessed as a string, right? So when you are going to go ahead and fetch a specific character as part of string, so the value that you're going to get back in return as part of this inbuilt functions that you're going to use, it is going to return you a string itself. So when I say text1, so what it has done is it will go ahead and get the data on index 1, that is a character, and that character will be stored in char. So over here from Python, it has got y. So y is here, and what is y? What is the value of y? It is a string. And if you see now the length of the character, so it is showing 1. That means it has only fetched one single character, and it has stored that as a string into character. Now let's go back to our screen and see what's next. So now we are going to see how extracting substring in Python strings can be possible. So slicing lets you extract parts of string using syntax start, end, and step. So the start index is inclusive and the end index is exclusive. So I will show you that in the example. And the step controls how many characters to skip. So for example, if I say from 2 to 5, and after that if I write :2, so it is going to skip one of them, and it is directly going to go to the second index. So it is not going to consider the index 1. So it will start from 0. So after 0 will come 2, after 2 will come 4, after 4 will come 6. That is what step means. Now, what are the common slice patterns? So common slice pattern include, so when you say :n, what does it mean? So it says the first n characters, means from start till the end, whatever we have, it is going to give us back. Then when we say -n, so right now :n, this starts from the left, and the -n, this starts from the right. And when you exclude first name and last name, so for example, when you want to get the first character and the last character, in that case you can use n: -n, so it is going to fetch that for you. And if you want to reverse an existing string, in that case you can use : semicolon -1, so it is going to give you a reverse string. We will see that in the code in few minutes. Now in slice behavior, what we do is it returns a new string. So as I said, whenever you try to fetch a character from a string and save it into a variable, it is going to give you back a new string. And if you try to modify any character on a specific index, at that time it is not going to modify that specific string that you are trying to change. It is going to create a new object out of it, because strings are immutable. Now let's go ahead, jump to our screen, and let's check it right away that how string slicing works. So first we will talk about string start and end step. Let's see that in action. first I'm going to go ahead and define our variable. So text is equal to Python programming. So this is the variable that we are going to perform operations on. Now, when I say 0 to 6, so what output we are going to get? Python. So let's see from where it starts. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we said 0 to 6. Why it has not included the space over here? The reason for that is, as you saw in the PPT, what it was saying. The PPT was saying that first index to include. So the first index 0 is been included, and for the end, the first index to exclude. So by default, whatever you say, so if you say 0 colon 6, so it is going to be 6 minus 1 by default. That's why it is from 0 to 5, because it is starting from 0. So that's why it has given Python like this. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is how it works. Now let's go ahead and see. Suppose we have to slice text starting from 7th index. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Space is 7. Now after the space, whatever we have to get that. We have to extract that from the string. So for that, what we are doing is we are going to use 7 colon. This is going to output programming. That is, whatever is available after 7th index is been sliced and printed out for you. Then now what we are doing is now we are actually following the entire cycle of start, end, and step. So at the start, if you see what we have done, we have kept it as blank. That means by default it will start from 0. Then for end, we have kept it as 6. Okay, that is going to be 6 minus 1. So we have to slice the value from 0 to 5, and in the step of 2. So in step of 2 means what? So if you see over here, it is PTO. Let's see how the step worked. So first it's printed 0, right? Once it printed 0, then it took a step of 2. So it skipped Y and it went 2 steps ahead. So after P, it has printed T, and after T, it has printed 0. This is how the step works. Now we will see some common slice patterns. Let me go ahead and open that for you. So in common slice pattern, what we are seeing is how we can use these kinds of thing to get appropriate outputs. So when I say print text blank colon 6, so it will start by default by 0 and it will end by 6 minus 1, and the Python is the output that we get. And when I say minus 6 colon, so what it is going to do is it is going to print it from the end. So it will start from here. So it will start from minus 1. G is minus 1. So from here it will start and it will end, and it will print everything over here. Okay, then when we move to next, so now we have to exclude the first and last n characters from Python programming. So for that, what we are doing is we are using 2 colon minus 2. So what it is doing is it is excluding, it is slicing out what is at 2, 0, 1, 2. So it has sliced this part, and at the end, if you see, from minus 1 to minus 2, so it has removed this also, minus 1 and minus 2. So that is how slicing works for the first and last n characters. Now if you want to reverse the string, so in that case what you do, you use blank double space semicolon semicolon minus 1. So in this case, our string Python programming has been reversed. So now if you see, it has printed the reverse version of Python programming. Now let's talk about some slice behavior that we just discussed in our slide. So as part of slice behavior, what it says that it returns a new string. So whenever you try to fetch any character, so the return type of that character that it is going to return as part of your slicing is going to be a string. So over here, when we say from a 0 to 6, it has sliced Python and it has saved in sliced. And when I print slice, you will see Python. So, and this is the original text. So it has been saved as a string data type. Now, out of range slice handle gracefully. So as I said you, suppose if we have defined xyz, which is 0 0 1 2, right? So the end index is 2, but and many a times when you don't know the end index, what you can do is if it does not exist, it is going to give you error. But if you are giving a big bandwidth, at that time it is not going to give you error. So you can avoid that error, value error, by using this kinds of notation where you say 0:100. So whatever is available as part of that specific string, it is going to go ahead and print it without any errors. Now, so empty slice when start is greater than equal to end from Python programming. So what we are going to do is, now we are doing empty slice. So I am going to go ahead and print 5:2. It is going to give me empty value because now I am using a format which is not correct, because 5, okay, 5 is greater than 2. Usually our indexing starts from left to right, right? 0 1 2 3, but over here I have set 5:2. That is the reason it is giving error, because by default it will start from the left. That's why it is giving an empty string for this that you see over here, that is empty. But if you have to do in that way, if you have to come reverse, at that time you have to mention -1. Then only it will understand that you have to print something from behind based on the indexes that you are providing. So that is how you got this value. Now let's go back to our screen and see what's next. So Python offers a rich set of built-in string methods that makes text manipulation easy and powerful for us. So let's start with case changing methods. So upper method and lower method converts the characters to uppercase and lowercase, for uppercase and for lowercase. Then title capitalizes the first letter of each word. Then snap case inverts the case of every character. And if we move forward to the search methods, what it does is, when we say find, it returns the starting index of a substring, or -1 if not found. And when you use rstring, it searches from right to left. By default it is left to right, but when you use rfind, it is going to be right to left. And when you use index, it works like find, but it raises an error if the substring is not found. And when you use count, it tells you how many times a substring appears into your string. Then when you say starts with and ends with, it returns true or false based on the string's begins and ending. So these methods are case sensitive by default, but some of them can be adapted in a case insensitive use also. So in AI and natural language processing tasks, these string tools are essential for pre-processing text, like converting everything to lowercase, searching for pattern, or normalizing input before aliases. So let's jump to our screen and see it step by step. So first we will see the case and search. So for the case and search, let me open the string method case. So over here, first we are going to run the uppercase. So right now our text was stored in lowercase, that is Python AI. But when I used text.upper, it has converted that to uppercase, that is Python AI. Then this time what I have done, I have used a camel case where P is capital, other is strong, other is small, and AI is capital. So now when I use lower, it is going to convert the entire text into lowercase. That's how you can see Python AI. Now when you use title, in that case what it does is, it is just going to update each word first character into capital. So when I say welcome to AI lab, it says when we do text.title, it has changed the first characters. If you see, welcome W has been capital, to T has been capital. So this is how it capitalizes first letter of each word. Now when we use capitalize, so in that case what it does is, it will only capitalize the first character of the string. So first character of the string, so this is considered as one string, okay, not word by word. So as it is a one string, so it will only capitalize H over here. That is why it is hello world, H has been capitalized. Now when we say swap case, what we do is we swap the case of each character. So over here, P is capital, Y is small, T is capital, H is small, O is capital, N is small. Same for AI. And when I say text dot swap case, what it has done, the thing which was capital, it is made lowercase, and which was not lowercase, it has been made as uppercase. So that is how swap case works. Now let's talk about some string methods for the search that we saw in our PPT. So suppose if I have a string machine learning, so this is the value of my string, okay, machine learning. And if I have to find a specific substring inside it, what I can do, I can use a find method over here. What this find method is going to do is it is going to go ahead and it is going to tell me from where this substring starts. So when I said find learn, so it is saying from 8 this starts. So if I say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and yes, this learning L starts at the 8th index. Now when I say text.find data, it is giving me -1 because it does not exist. So the things which does not exist gives you -1, and the things which exist, it will give you the start of the index from where that substring is getting started. Now, so by default, as I said, whenever you are performing and trying to slice it or find it, it will be from left to right. But when you have to do from right to left, at that time what you can do is you can do rfind, and it searches from the right. So if I say deep learning, reinforcement learning, and text rfind learning, so instead of mentioning the index of the starting substring of this learning, it is going to mention it for this. That's why it has given 29. So 29 is the place where this learning has been started. Now, so let's talk about another search method, that is index. So when I said text is equal to data science, so data science is our value of the string. And when I said text.index, so it will go ahead and find this, and it will give you from where it starts. But the problem with this is, if it is not going to get anything, it is going to raise an error, that is a value error. So that's why we usually use the other method where it is going to give -1. It is not going to give you value error. So right now it is giving the output as 5. But if I remove this, and if I do text.index AI does not exist in our string. Let's see what error we get. See, this is how you get the value error, the same as I have printed over here for you. Now I will just go ahead and comment it back. So let's move to our next method, that is count. So when you use count method and you say that I have to get a count of AI, so it is going to search the occurrences of this substring into the value of string that you have. So it is right now, you can see this substring has been repeated 3 times. That is what the count is. It has given the count of 3 for that. Now let's talk about starts with and end with. So check. So when you have to check if the string starts or ends with the substring, at that time you use it. So over here right now our text is neural networks. Now when I say print text start with neural, so it is going to give you a boolean output. You say that is it starting with neural, it is going to say yes or no. So right now we asked, does it start with neural, and it says yes, it starts with neural. And then we say, does it end with works, it says yes, it end with works. So that is how this works. Now let's jump back to our slide and see what's next. So again I am repeating, strings in Python are immutable. So string methods return new string instead of modifying the original, as we saw in our code. So let's explore some common transformation methods around it. So when you use replace old new, it replaces all the occurrences of a substring, which is useful for cleaning or standardizing a text. So when you use strip, left strip, right strip, what it does is it removes the white spaces within the string that you have, string value that you have saved from both the ends, from the left side, from the right side, which is essential for cleaning inputs or passed data. Then you can use split method, which breaks a string into list based on a separator, which is great for tokenizing text or parsing CSV files. Then you can use join method, which combines a list of strings into one. using the chosen operator that you want to. So this is the recommended way to use this is to build strings from parts. Now if I use L just, R just, that is left just, right just, and center, so it formats the string by aligning and padding them to a specified width. Now, remember, so these methods don't change the original string. You need to reassign the results to keep it. So for example, if I say left strip, if I'm stripping something, the value is not going to change for the string. If you want it to be changed, you have to get that. So whatever value you are going to get in return as string, you have to store that into another variable. The existing string is not going to be modified. Now, let's jump to the screen and see how these string methods work. So I will open this now. First, replace all occurrences of a word. So over here, I say text is equal to AI is fun, AI is powerful. Now, instead of AI, we are going to replace it with machine learning. So for doing that, what we do is, as I showed you over here, we are going to use this method. So replace old and new. AI is old and machine learning is new. So this is existing and this is what we have to replace. So I am saying text dot replace AI, which is the old one, and the new value should be machine learning. And when I run this, it says machine learning is fun, machine learning is powerful. Now, how to remove white spaces from both the ends, from the start and from the end. So by default, when you use strip, it will do that for you. So right now, if you will see over here, there is so much of spaces, but when I click on this over here, you will see there is no left or right spaces available. It has been stripped. So white spaces are gone. Now, if you want to remove white space from the left side only, at that time you will say left strip. So now if I see, if I try to highlight this on the right side, the white space has not been removed. It has only been removed from the left side because we have used left strip. And the same over here you will see for right strip. So it has removed from right but not from left. That is how left strip and right strip works. Now, if we want to split the strings into list of words using white spaces, what we can do is, so text is equal to deep learning models. So text dot split. So what it is going to do is, it has actually based on the spaces, deep space learning space models. So it has picked every word based on the space and it has saved them as an element, as a string element inside a list, and it has returned a list back to text variable that we have created over here, and it is printed. Okay, now split using a comma. So now first we saw split by using a space. Now we are going to use split by using comma. So over there we didn't mention anything because it is by default. If it is space, it will work. But when we have to do it based on our character, because in CSV files you will see that usually it is comma separated files. So over there you can use this kind of a split where it will split based on the comma separated files, and this is how it is going to return the value to you. Now if you have to join a list of words with a space, so what you do is you say join words. So join will automatically join these words with the space. So if I say join words, so it is going to pick each and every element from the list and it is going to join them by giving a space. So over here it has picked machine, then space, picked learning, then space, and then pick pipeline and space. That is how the join words work. Now join list with hyphens. So previously we did that with space that we have mentioned over here. Now we are going to do that with hyphen. So I say hyphen join words. So when it is going to join the words in as part of this list, it is going to use hyphen over here. Now left align with padding. So when I am going to use L just, so it is going to do so it is going to align my text it is going to align my text with hyphens. Okay, so it is going to align my data to the left and it is going to pad it with hyphens on the right. The same way when you do it for rjust, it is going to do the opposite. So this time it has aligned my text to right, and then the padding that we have provided, it has added that to the left. Now I have said 10 over here. That means it will add it accordingly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Same happened over here. So we have added the count of padding also over here. Now when we have to do center padding, over here I have said 10. So as part of that, it is going to keep my data, keep my substring in the center, and to the left and right, it is going to pad it accordingly. So this is how padding works. Now let's get back. So we have seen splits, we have seen join, so we have seen strips. What's remaining now? Now let me go ahead and see. Yes, so we have covered everything. Now let's move to the next slide. So Python offers multiple ways to format strings, but the most modern and preferred way is the f-string, which is introduced in Python 3.6. If you try to use this method before 3.6, it is not available. So to use it, you have to be above the version of Python 3.6. So with an f prefix, you can embed variables and expressions directly into a curly braces. So f strings are clear, concise, and fast, and usually at enterprise level we use f strings. So another common method is dot format, which replaces placeholders with values. You can use it for positional or named arguments for flexibility and clarity. So in f string, if you see over here, when I have to see, this is better readable compared to the format method over here. So we have just used f string, we say f at the start, and then we embed our variables, then we embed our operations, then we embed our expressions, whatever we want, regular expressions accordingly. But for this one, it is different. So you have to use the dot format keyword, then and only then you can do that. We will see that in the example going forward, don't worry. So both f string and dot format support format specifiers for fine control over the output that we get as part of the print that we use with formatting. So if we use dot to f at the end, that means suppose if it is a float which is having a value of 3.4567, and if I have written dot to f, it is just going to say 3.45, because that is the number of decimals it is going to showcase, or it is going to print, or it is going to return. Now, so numeric and string width formatting like :10 or exponential 15, this can also be done. So these are the format specifiers. The first one is float with 2 decimals. The second one is a string right aligned with 10, that is the with padding of 10. Then string left aligned with the padding of 10. Then string center aligned with the padding of 10. Okay, let's go ahead and see that in action. So over here, this is string formatting. Let's see. So first we are going to embed a variable by using f string. So how we are embedding a variable? So in print statement, we have used this curly braces to embed our variable, where we have just given the variable name. It will automatically embed the value, and the print statement would be name : Alice. That is how the embedding works. Now, if we have to embed an expression, what we're going to do is, it is the same pattern, but within the curly braces, we are performing now an operation, that is x plus y, and this is the value which gets printed for you. Now, format float with 2 decimal places, as I said. So right now, it is having 9876. It is 4 decimal. But when I am going to print it over here, I have given dot to f. So it is just going to print 19.98. So it has actually approximated the last value, that is 8 over here, based on the other values, and given us the output. Now, basic use with dot format. Now we have seen f string. Now we are going to talk about dot format, how it works. So how we can embed values with dot format. So our value is equal to 42. So in this, previously we were putting everything, so we were directly putting the variable name into the curly braces, right? But when you're going to use dot format, what you do is you create the curly braces and then you say dot format value. So this value will be embedded over here, and this is how it will look. Now, positional formatting. So when you have to embed multiple values, so in that case what you will do, so for example over here we have declared three variables: a is equal to python, b is equal to ai, c is equal to ml. Now we have to embed all of them. So in that case what we will do is, so we will say curly braces 0 1 2. So this is the positions that we have defined, and then this is the format. So based on this you will get this output over here. Now named placeholders. So over here you saw index placeholders. Now you can also do named placeholders. So print name is age, format name is equal to Alice, age is equal to 30. So based on that you get the output over here. Now the way that we used dot 2f above, we can use it over here also when we are writing a regular expressions in that case. Now this is the right aligned string that I was talking about. So if you see, the string over here is going to be right aligned when we are going to use 10s over here. So s is, so over here we are saying that the string is going to be right aligned, and when we go over here, so over here we are going ahead and saying that left aligned string with width 10. Okay, so the string over here is left aligned. Now when we go over here and we use center aligned, it is going to align it in center. So that is how it should work. Now let's go ahead and see what's next. Analyzing string content. So Python provides several built-in functions to analyze and validate string based on their content. So the is method that you see over here, so the is method checks whether a string contains only certain types of characters. So is alpha, only alphabetic letters are present in a string or not? Is digit, only numeric digits are present in a string or not? Is ALNum, it will search for letters or digits. It is not going to search for spaces or punctuations as part of that string. Then if we say is space, it is only going to search for white spaces which is available within the string. Now for case analysis, what you can do is, suppose if you have a value and you want to understand what is the case of that specific value which is being stored, in that case you can say is lower. So it will see that if all the values are in lower case. Is upper, it will check if it is in upper case. Is title, it will check if the string is defined in a title case, that is the first letter of each word is capitalized. Now other helpful tools, we have already seen length. Now we have already seen in also in our second video. Then count, we have already seen that. Now comes a new one, that is min max. So in min max it returns the smallest and largest character based on the Unicode order, because usually when we think of min and max we think of an integer value, but no, it can be used in strings also, but the output that it returns, it is based on the Unicode order. So every character is having a Unicode, so based on that it is going to go ahead and give you back the output. So these methods are very essential for validating input, cleaning data, and extracting features, especially in natural language processing task where understanding the structure of text is very crucial. So let's jump to our screen and see it step by step. So what are all the analysis tools that we have? When we say is alpha, it is only going to check if there is any alphabet present or not. So if I say is alpha, it says yes, it is all alphabetic, that is hello is all alphabetic. Now if I say hello 1 2 3 is alpha, it says no, the string is not all alphabetic. When I say is digit 1 2 3 4 5, it says yes, it is all digit. But when I say 1 2 3 a is digit, it will say no, it is not all digit. Then if I say is all num, so it will look for letters or digits, it is not going to look for spaces or any symbols which we have mentioned inside. So if I say python 3, it says true, that means it is not having any spaces or symbols. But if I say python space 3, it says false, that means there is spaces or some symbols inside that specific string. Now if I say is space, so it only looks for white spaces. The previous one was looking for white spaces as well as symbol, but this one only looks for white spaces. So if white space is present, it will say yes, if not, it will say no. So only white spaces means it is not my bad. So only white spaces means if whatever string that has been entered, if it is only having white space entirely, at that time it is going to give you true. If it is having white spaces along with the text, it is going to give you false. So for that, this is not the right method. Now, if you have to check whether, so if I say machine is all in lowercase. So when I use is lower, it is going to return me true, saying that the entire entire value of the string is in lowercase. When I use is upper, it is going to check if it is in uppercase or not and give you true or false accordingly. When I use is title, it is going to check if each word starts with uppercase. So if I say deep learning, D and L is capital, it is going to return you true. But if I say all lowercase, it is going to return you false. Now, we already saw length. It is going to give you the total length of the string. We already saw in. So in, how you can use it. Suppose if I say learn in machine learning, it is going to give you true or false. So learn, this substring is present in the existing string. That's what it says, true or false. Now, if you want to use count, so in count, what you can do is you can give the substring that you want to search for, and based on that, it returns the count for you. Now, min and max. So if I say min ABC XYZ, so it is giving the output as X, that is uppercase is lower than uppercase is less than lowercase. And for max ABC, it will give me output as C, where where lowercase is greater than the uppercase. So that is how it checks on the Unicode value based on that. Now let's go back to our slide and see what we have. So now we have the final one, that is strings immutability. So string in Python are immutable, meaning once created, they can't be changed. We have seen it and discussed it a lot of time. So any operation that seems to modify a string actually creates a new object in your memory. So this has advantages. Some of the advantages are the strings are thread safe. In that case, it is hashable, behavior is predictable and consistent. But immutability also has performance cost. So when you are using plus equal to in loops, it is going to give you lower performance. And when you use Pythonic solution to collect parts in a list, then join them using double quotes dot join, this builds the final string only once. So for better performance and readability, we should avoid repeated strings concatenation, and we can use list comprehension plus join. So I will show you that in the example. So in AIML, where we process large text data or generate logs and reports, efficient string handling really matters. So that's where now, as we keep on doing these things again and again, we automatically understand what works and what not works. Now over here, if I say that if I'm going to run this program, it is not going to tell you whether it is efficient or not, but when you are going to implement it in the enterprise solution, at that time efficiency of the code has been checked. They will ask you that how much time your code took to run. So previously, if the code was running in nanoseconds and later on it is running in seconds, that means the code is not properly optimized. So over here, what it is saying that when we use plus equal to over here, this is inefficient. This is not the right way of using it. Okay. Now over here, what it is saying, build strings efficiently by collecting parts first. So it is saying that first what you do, first you append everything, then you go ahead and perform a join operation instead of performing a concatenation operation again and again in each and every loop. So that is what it is saying over here. Now, even cleaner using list comprehensions. So what is list comprehension? In list comprehension, what we do is we actually write the entire code, a big code. So over here, this is the entire code, right? Now this has been minimized into this list comprehension. I will not speak much about it right now because I am going to speak about it in our upcoming lectures in detail. So let's just understand that this is one of the way which we can use for efficient coding. Now let's go. So that's it, guys. Thank you everyone for your time and participation. I encourage you to experiment with the concepts we discussed today. If You have any questions or thoughts, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Remember, programming skills improve with practice. So try to apply these concepts in different contexts to solidify your understanding. Join our WhatsApp community, subscribe to our artificial intelligence and machine learning YouTube channel, and sign up for the Tech Insight Neuron newsletter. All the links you need to join them is available on the screen, as well as the links are available in the description of this video. So see you in the next video. Take care and bye for now.